Today class will be divided in three parts. The first part, I will be talking about Bootstrap. Nothing, nothing fancy. Just what is Bootstrap, more or less how to use it, and maybe we will go over this small example, like something like this. We will be created in Bootstrap. Uh, and aside of that, in the second part of the class, we will go over some web fundamentals. That is like HTML, CSS. No, you will know that I will be coding. It's mostly about talking, like what kind of, for example, uh, what kind of question you may have in an interview and how we can go over it, how they, let's say, like the internet works. And yeah. And in the last part, no, web fundamentals, and the last part, we will go over some questions related with HTML and CSS and like basically wrapping over like internet, wrapping over what we have it in this case. Yeah. That is why that is the our agenda for today. After that, that's over. If you in this case have any question, you can stop me anytime. First of all, let's start with Bootstrap. Okay. What is Bootstrap? Bootstrap in this case is a framework. And a framework, when we are talking about a framework, is just a lot of tools together that allow us to do something faster. In this case, uh, not we have different type of frameworks, but the most common one are framework for CSS. Framework for CSS. In this case, we have Bootstrap, Tailwind, Chakra, and Undesign, and other ones that we may have it. They allow us to uh, create a website using HTML, and instead of writing our CSS, we can just use it some preformat, in this case, code that is just CSS. Think about a framework like someone who wrote a lot of CSS classes that now you can be started using it. Bootstrap is one of the most common one that we have. For example, here, we will go to Bootstrap, to the page of Bootstrap, and in this case, we open it. And you will have it here, like what is Bootstrap with? And we open it. We open it, for example, here. We can just see some Bootstrap example. For example, here, this hero, there are uh, different examples how we can use it. But let's go and open our VS Code. I think I will be closing some pages here. This is my work computer. That is why I have a lot of what's in open. Okay. I will just go to my VS Code, and I will open a new folder. In this new folder, I will just call it Bootstrap. Bootstrap. And we have it here. I will create a website, but this or one page, it will be called index.html. Okay. I will go with my HTML file, and I have here this website, right? I will be installing something here into the extension. Maybe you already have it in this case. What is called and HTML CSS support. This one. I'm not sure if you have it. It will just help me with some part of, how can I say, with HTML. And CSS allow me to add classes or other things, mostly if when you are using Bootstrap that you have a lot of classes, it will just help you. We will install it. It's up to you, right? It's up to you to do it. Now, here, last time we installed something that it was Lorem Ipsum. You just write Lorem, and you will have in this case all the, uh, let's say like your one text. And let's open it into the preview. And that is what we have. That is what we have. I will just collect this one. Okay. Format selection. In my case, it's not automatically mine. And that is what we have. It's just a simple, how can I say, a simple website without any information. We don't have anything extra here. We don't have anything, just some text. Even I will go here. I will add just another 2, 3. Okay. As you can see, we don't have it. Zero, zero design. Okay. We have some margin and some information. Bootstrap, for example, as I said at the beginning, we go here, and we will install it. The majority of the time, you will go to the documents, and we will just get some information. Here we have it. We just need to install it. And in order to install Bootstrap, the only thing that you need to do is install this simple line of code. That if you read it, here, it's just, in this case, Bootstrap. It's a Bootstrap minify CSS. It's just a simple CSS file. Just a simple CSS that is called Bootstrap and is located in this URL, right? In this URL. What is in this CDN? I think it will be some question that you may have it in this way. It's like a content delivery network, and we just use it to share information when it's needed. After you install it, this one, this HTML, CSS, you only need to save it, and I would like you to see what's going on with this. In this case, with this page, we save it. We save it here. In general, something happened. Let's remove it again. Let me just add CSS. Look, you can see that the typography changed, the size also changed, also remove it or change it what is like the sizes of the, let's call it, that what we have over there. That's it. And now if I make it this page bigger, it's also creating some small changes that we can say it into the CSS. Let's save it. And there we have it. Right now we have installed Bootstrap. Bootstrap, as I said, is a framework. A framework is a collection of CSS classes that someone else wrote it and we can use in our project in order to create prototypes. Prototypes mean like I need a website, I need it very fast. I don't have time in this case to be doing anything, and I will just use it, this one, in order to create it. There are a lot of ways that we can just use, for example, if we go here to examples, we'll go to example, yeah, you will have a lot of different examples. And what we usually do is, let's say like, oh, I need a hero. Okay, you go to this hero and sometimes you just open this. Let's go to the inspector. We have this hero. Ah, okay. This one that we have here. Let's just like edit that HTML. We copy this information that we have here, and I will go to my HTML. I paste it, and look what I have here. I have immediately like a something that I can just start using it. And I will open it with the server. And here, for example, here we have an absolutely a hero that the only thing that I did it was just copy some code, for example, from here. And all the design is already created depending what we are having in this case. We open it. I basically edited like a HTML. I copy. And instead of this one, I have it. I go to my page, and here I have some information. The hero that last time took us a couple of hours. Now you can just start prototyping. It's completely responsive what you have here. And the design is looking pretty good without that much effort. You can just go and look for other things that you may need it. Let's say this feature, you like it, and you say, oh, I would like something like this for my website. We go it, we change it, we look for it, and we copy it. You install it. We go to our code. I will be showing you in this case how we can use it or modify it on everything. But the general idea of Bootstrap is to prototyping. To prototyping means that just build some things a little bit faster than we have it. It was very good when I was freelancing. And if, for example, you remove your framework, so then you just have in this case a simple HTML without anything that you have over here. When you install it, your application is completely working in this way. This is basically what we have. Yes, Victor? I think like you
No.
have a question.
Yeah, so in Bootstrap, we can see that here's only inline styles, not different file for the style. So when we'll use the JavaScript, will it be more difficult to use the JavaScript here? Because here's styles was mixed. Here's a lot of things just for using a JavaScript. Is it good idea or not? It doesn't
It
matter.
doesn't matter. You can just add one ID here, and then you can select everything by ID, or you can add one extra class that you may need it. In this case,
Yeah.
all the classes that you have here, you can add one extra like a my selector, right? For CS, for yes, and that solves your problem.
Okay,
It's not.
I don't know even like how to use the JavaScript. It was just my question. So it's
Yeah.
make a problem, right?
No, it's not a problem in this case. Basically, if I had to be honest, it's very common to be using any type of frameworks in this case for just to develop something. Right now, I am just showing you that how we can just take some parts of another code, put it in our website, and they will be looking the same for you and for everybody. And that is why, if you have seen it, there are a lot of websites that they look completely similar in this case because they are using something like a Bootstrap. If you see these buttons, this typography, or this sizes, on all of those stuff, they are completely similar, and you can just go over internet and say like something like a Bootstrap, a slider, and, and you can just go here. For example, here you will have like a one carousel, like this one, and you basically can just copy this code, and this one will be completely working. For example, here we copy this one. Let's say it right. Let's say you remove all of this part, and we add it. I save it, and it's supposed that Well, here I will need to get some images in order to make it work, or install some extra things. But in general, will be has to be working similar in this case. Or for example, you need some cards, like this one. We can copy the card. We can just copy this card, add it, and here you have the card. I mean, the image is missing, right? But it's because here we don't have any image. We can just get something like a, I don't know, USA flag, PNG. We go for this. Open it on your tab. Open image, and I'm not sure if this format would be okay, but and there you have one bill with the image that you needed.
So Mario, is in the Bootstrap different properties for the styles or the same? I just
There are different. Right now we will go over it, at least on the basic one that we have it. But the idea of Bootstrap is just prototyping fast. That is why you have a lot of elements that they are already pre-created for you. For example, here you will have some alerts, the normal that you have, like for example, buttons, forms, how you can use it, and what you are doing is extending them, extending them. There are people that they are very good using this kind of preprocessor or these uh, frameworks. But this is well, the practice will give you the ability to be using it. I will be right now going to all of the more common properties that we have it, but at the beginning I just wanted to show you where is the real part that we use it. In the real life, you use Bootstrap when you don't want to be thinking about doing something like from scratch, and you are saying, okay, I need a website, I need it to be done, then you will find basically all the different pieces that you needed. You will have it in this case.
Can we
Yeah,
override some styles?
all of them that you wanted. There is nothing convenient with do it. You can, in this case,
No, I mean
create it.
if you just override some class and the styles that was with the Bootstrap will not be like on the screen. It will just disappear. If you like additional styles with a Bootstrap.
No, because CSS in this case is composable. Like something extra that you added will extend what you have it. If you are completely changing the class itself, yes, it will be deleted. But if you just extend that, for example, then there is no
How
problem.
to extend the CSS class?
It's not it's just you only need to add a new class. For example, in order to have it here, we can just have another CSS class, like styles.css. Let's say here, and let's connect that one. Link CSS, and I will install this style CSS that we have here. The style CSS. And let's say like you have this car body, just for saying, right? That they do have it. We can add one extra class like my amazing class, my amazing. And this is just a class that it doesn't have to be doing anything with Bootstrap. And we just add something here, and then we just say put what we can say background color red, and then you are extending it. I mean, just the class. Bootstrap loaded first, then it loaded your CSS, and you are just extending what you have.
It's just adding additional stuff, not like deleting. the first one.
Yeah, because and that is why if you are seeing here, I am adding it after because CSS is a render blocking. What is happening is all the bootstrap loaded first, all bootstrap loaded first, then loaded my local that I have here. Then wherever I have it first, I can just put it extra with the next class that I am adding it.
Mm,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah, you can, this is just one way, right? That you can just use it in order to extend it. You have this one, you have what Bootstrap give you, and you add some extra information that you needed over there. It's not
So
that com. Yeah.
cascading, this means cascading styles, right?
Exactly, because you put the first CSS,
And
then the second
it
one.
additionally adds and more.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. It's a headache because this one honestly give you more problems in the majority of time that you need it, but you can absolutely go and overwrite it what you have it in this case. Um, just to go over here, let me just show you a little some part that I consider important into the Bootstrap, but again, I will go in this. In the real life, for me, Bootstrap is like I don't want to be thinking how this thing will look. I will just be using the same, uh, all the properties that I will be showing you, all of them exist here. All of them. I don't have anything to new. Everything is in the documentation. That is why I will not be spending like too much time because I feel like a Bootstrap is something that you can go over there, look around and okay, I need this function, I need this class and just put in it one after another one. There is nothing like a science or anything that we will have it. And we use the for prototyping again. If someone asks you, what do you use for prototyping? And prototyping is like to build something fast in HTML and CSS and everything. You can say, I use Bootstrap. Why? Because Bootstrap give you, these are the colors that you will using, these are the typographies that will you using, these are like the margins that you will be using, these are like everything and you just start getting those pieces of Lego, putting it together, and here you have, my dear friend, what you were asking me for me. That's it. And maybe some modification, like in this case, Nur Sultan was asking, okay, we can just go over some modification. But the majority of time is prototyping. And prototyping is get the, instead of I'm not sure. Do you know that there are? I know that this example of Kyrgyzstan, right? You have these panel houses that they are like at the big walls, putting one after another one. This is Bootstrap. Instead of building everything little by little, you just take these big pieces and just put it together, and you deliver something as fast as possible. All the different options that we have it, you will find it here, components, utilities, and everything. The documentation is the most important part of Bootstrap. It takes some time in the way that we have, it's very difficult to memorize all of the, if you are seeing here, I was showing you here, it's very difficult to memorize in all of these car top image, car body, car everything. It take, it's not something that you memorize like a very it's difficult, honestly, to memorize all of those things. But there are people that they are so good. This one that you are showing you here, Bootstrap, is just one tool. You can use something called Tailwind CSS. That is also basically the same stuff. It's also the same thing that we are having. And here you will have like a templates and another stuff. Just let me just for you for okay, here we have a CDN, and for example, we install this. I just wanted to show you, and instead to install Bootstrap, for example, you install Tailwind. And look, also changing a little bit different. And this is another framework that is doing absolutely the same stuff. Just some other people feel like I'm more comfortable using, in this case, Tailwind. And Tailwind, it's just that you can just go over the documentation, and you will be finding some, for example, uh, let's say here, Tailwind, CSS, slider, for example. When you are looking for pieces, I will just copy this, let's say this, this HTML. I will install it. I need a slider. Look, here you have a slider. There is nothing more. That is the same thing. You are basically just, and here you also have different type of classes. That is why if you want to use one or another one, just take it and learn it a little bit. Then the other one that will be similar. Tailwind, this one, and I can be talking about this thing for hours about which one you want to use it, but there is not difference, in my opinion, right? There is not much different between what do you want to use it, if Tailwind or Bootstrap or any other framework that you have it. They have the same idea that is like a, I am too lazy, I don't want to code. And that's it. The most important part, I think, related with Bootstrap, with any one of this system of creation of CSS is the layout. And I think that is something that I would like to go over here. For example, Bootstrap is created. I will just create one div here. I will just create one div. And this div that we created here is divided in three parts. They have, in this case, container, row, and column. That's it, right? Container, the big one. In this case, the row that you may wanted to have it, and the column. How many columns do you want it? Bootstrap and any other framework, all of them thought like every page has 12 columns. And then that is the idea, 12 columns. In order to start working with it, we just need to add classes. We just need to add classes. One of the most important classes in this case is container. Container. Oh, look. And there you have it, the container. This container, in this case, is just, okay, this is the normal height or the normal width for Bootstrap. Okay, you are adding a container. Without the container, without the class container, it's just 100%. When you add, in this case, the container, there is one width. Commonly, someone knows what is the normal width of a web page, like when we are working in like a desktop or everything. There is a one specific number that we have it. Is 1,000 something? 1,000?
80? No?
I
24.
1,024. Someone knows why is 1,024?
Oh, one megabit. No?
I like your idea, but no, it's just before the screen 14 pixel, it was 1,024 pixels in the screen, and that was the standard, and just it's like that now. It's just the standard that when we are in a web page 1,024, we know that everybody in the desktop minimum they will have that size. If you are having, for example, a computer, or in this case a laptop, you will not be seeing this month, this allotted space at the end. Why? Because that one is 1024, and that is just the standard that we have it in this case. And that is like the container is saying. Then inside the container, inside the container, inside the container, I will add just two here, two elements. And yes, it's a headache, but when you are working with Bootstrap, you will have a lot of things. Yeah, it's annoying, I know it, but this is the way that we have it. The second one, in this case, will be, we will add another class, and the class in this case will be rows. And let me just add it here. And I will have to add another one. Yeah. And we go. You will say, oh, there is not much difference between one and another. Okay. Yes. Now we have the last one that it will be another div. Okay. And what will be the name of this div? As I was commenting you, we have row, we have container, row, and then this one in this case will be column. And I hope I am just in this case writing it well, but column. Then this is will be 1, 2, 3. This is closing. This is closing. This is closing this. I think I closed it wrong, right? And just
the div on 18 should be open, I think.
yeah. You are right. You are right in this case.
And class column.
Mm-hmm. And this one has to be class column, right? Class column, if I'm not mistaken, here and here. And let's go and see what we have here. And I did it completely, in this case, completely wrong. I didn't do it in this case correctly, as I said. Let me see. We have the container. The container is correct. Then we have, in this case, the row. I suppose that has to be. And if I am not mistaken,
I forgot to close the row. Oh no. No, you didn't. You didn't. No, I'm sure. I'm sorry.
No, let me see.
Maybe
row-
you forgot to end the column second.
Here I think I forgot to close something. That was telling you that this one is giving me headaches commonly when I am trying to write. Okay. Row column. Okay. This is the first column. This is the column. This is the row. And I will have to be colon this and this case the container, right? This has to be in this case everything. Okay, let me just see. Okay, let me see my note. Bootstrap columns. Columns. Okay, we have in this case the row, and calls. This one is not columns, and this case is columns. And let me just go here with SM. SM, and this one has to be the same. Okay, there we have it. It was not column, it's just the word column. I'm telling you that we have it over here. We just have two columns in this case. If we want to add another one, you just copy and into the same row we have. If you are seeing here goes one after another one is because by default Bootstrap is responsive. And then because it's responsive, here I don't have too much space. Then Bootstrap has, in this case, is just going to try to make it small or bigger. The system column of Bootstrap just have three things. And in this case, the container. The second one is the row. And the third one in this case will be basically the columns that we have it. Everything that is using it, React, Bootstrap will be just divided into these kinds, into the columns. If we don't specify in this case what type of column that we are having here, Bootstrap just will try to find the space. And you do know, we need to find another one. Okay, we can add another one. And automatically Bootstrap will be just, okay, do I have a space? Yes, I have a space. Then I will add it. Go again, we add more. I have a space. Yes, I have a space. If you don't have a space, it will just add it to the next page, to the next line. And there we have it. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. And it's able to add me, in this case, 10 rows. And if I have more, again, then here we go. It's adding just more space that you are having it in this moment. Another good funny part that you can just do with Bootstrap. Another funny part that you can do with Bootstrap is to be column these columns. These columns are divided like, okay, Mario, but I don't have control over those columns. You only use a dash. And for example, we can use the number 7. You can use a number between 0 and 12. And this number, you're saying, okay, I want this one to be 70% or like a little bit more, more than a half. If you see it, it's taking the half and a little bit more. You can say, you know what? I need this one to be 6 and I need the second one also to be 6. Then you have two that they are taking the half of the space of your screen, and the other one you are just divided in what you needed, and that start to give you some opportunity to develop. Let's say this one you have it 6 and 6. The other one you may say, okay, the next one will be 8 and 4. Remember, the combination in this case has to be 12. Then this one will be 9 and 3. 9 and 3. And the other one will be 1 and 10, for example. And so forth. And then you start creating, in this case, like the style that you needed using Bootstrap, with the different spaces or the different say. I find that this one very useful, that you with small changes you can in this case start to, how can I say, to modify your website in order to have it. There is nothing more. This is how how can I say it, you can start developing your website using Bootstrap. And inside it will go and see, for example, here, it will go and inspect it. We'll go and inspect it. We'll inspect this part. You will go and see, and here the container that we have is having 1,320, then have 1,000. All of these CSS classes have been added without you being creating anything. And then we have our system. And by default, we are using in this case Flex. That is why Bootstrap using on the background. Just is using Flex. And that means like inside we are using. Look, the class 6 that I wrote it is just telling me is a width of 50%. Because by default, Bootstrap in this case is giving me some spaces.
What if we shrink the page? The next one will go on the next like row,
Yeah.
or it will just like stay on the same row.
I will just go over there. We
No,
will just,
the same row. Hmm.
yeah, because I defined it that it will be 6%. Remember that we, in this
Oh.
case, in Bootstrap, it has like the ability to, to just, there is not much that we can do in this case with this part, but the grid gives me, in this case, some like breakpoint. Let's just go over here. And for example, if I'm not mistaken, then we can add, let me just do here. And let's say it, I say call and exists on sizes. Let me just copy the sizes that we have it. Here I will pass it to you into the, these are the different sizes that we have it, XS, SM, MD, and all of the other one. What we are basically using it will be here, call, if I say SM, like when it is SM, when it this one, I want this one to be 12, just to say. This one, it will be the medium, and this one will be the small one. Let me just go and see, because sometimes I am not completely secure that we are having here. Look, there it is. When it's small, it's going full width because the screen is too small. Then it will growing. Then, no, I am lying to you on what I am doing in this case. Oh, okay, let's say call small bootstrap. Okay, overwriting in this case. SM, yeah, no, SM, call, SM, and this case, SM has to go over it. When the call is small, extra small. When the call in this case will be, what do we have? A small. Let me go to L, in this case, MD, that it will be medium. Okay. When it's medium, goes in this case completely. And when this is small, it will go to the other. Refresh it. This is big. And when we go small has to be changed into 2 rows. Okay. Then we have it. This one will be a lot of check which are the breakpoints that we have it. But we can also identify the second breakpoint. There will be the columns in a specific size has to be some point like a 10 or whatever that you have it. And in this case, you will have the ability to manipulate it a little bit more. The columns that we are having over here. You can implement, for example, different, and we can say, okay, when the column, instead of be 10, maybe we can make it 3. For example, if it's in this case, XXL. We save it and we go. Here is 2, then we go. We have just 1. And there we have it. When it's XXL, it just change it to, in this case, to 3. Yeah. We go when it's intermediate, it will be 10. And when is in this case small, it will be changed. And basically, instead of be writing your media queries, you are implementing it here. And that
What
is
does
what
it
you can.
mean? Like, I didn't get it. Column, medium. What mean?
Uh,
Medium is the size,
eh,
right?
Yes, you
But
didn't check the chat.
yeah, yes, I did, but
Mm.
I didn't get what it means. Like the call after the max size of this medium, it's gonna be like 10 or how does it
Okay,
work?
it's the media queries you already saw it, right? That you are
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
mass width. Okay, it's the same thing that we are having here. When the mass width is in this case 768, it will apply this class. When the XXLs mean like when this class exceeds the 1400 pixels, this class will apply, and it will be overwriting the classes that there are before. And by default is like the large that it would apply. This one is applying in when the screen is 992. This one is applying when your screen size or your browser size, in this case is 768. And this one is applying when the minimum width of your screen is 1440 pixels. Okay. It's just the media query breakpoints that you are just using it, and that class is applying specifically in that time. Does it make sense?
Um,
Not much, right?
yeah. Maybe I can paint
Okay.
it or whatever.
Okay, okay. But okay. Because if you see it here, okay, let me just go over. In the inspector, we also have this option that is allow me to change the dimension of my website, right? Here you have the different type of browser that you
Devices.
can,
Oh,
yeah, the browser or everything that you have here. Let me just go for something that it has a lot of resolution. I don't know, like one iPad Pro in this case. You are seeing I have 1024. Is applying, in this case, by the code that we have here, is applying this one. That is like a 10. Let me just go over. In this case, I think I have to go with the responsive, and let me just apply 1500. And if you see it, it's applying me the third class, this one, because it's a over 1400. If I go, for example, from 1200 to 200, it will apply me this class that I have here. That is the class, basically, that is over 768 that we have here. And the last class is just applying it. Let's say like I have here 400, then it will go with the general class. That is this one that I have it. That is the first.
okay.
If we don't have a specific class, we'll go to the base class and it will take it that one in general. If not, you can modify that. And this is using something like a bin, right? This is like the column, the modifier, and the size that you are having in this case. And they are just the different breakpoints that you have depending of the size of the screen, basically. Then it's just like that. When do you want to start? And the modifier, it will be triggered depending of the size that you have over there. I'm not sure if it make a little bit more sense now.
Yes, but I didn't get about the numbers. And
Ah,
three.
okay. The numbers. But this one was something that I commented at the beginning. The numbers are because Bootstrap is built into one grid, and that grid has 12 columns by maximum.
Yeah.
And then you can just select arbitrary some numbers, right? Like let's say like if you have 100% and you divide it between 12, you have something around 8%, right? Then if
Yes.
you say 3, it will be like a 24% that you are just using in this case. The 6 is 50%, and that is what, let me just go here in 500. This one that we have, just to realize what I have here. And this one that we have here, look, 6 is 50% because Bootstrap has 12 column.
Mhm.
Then if you specify 6, you are saying, okay, Bootstrap, you have 12 columns, but I just want 6 of those 12 columns that you
Okay.
have it by default. And it's giving you that 50%. If you use, let's say that here, instead of 6, we use 3, then in this case, you will have
Oh,
25%.
okay. But when you use
Eh,
10, it like takes the whole row.
Yeah, but it's because the other one doesn't have a space to get into
Oh,
it. Yeah, because you
that's
have
why it goes on the
83%.
next row. Okay, I got it.
Because it doesn't even have a space, and the
Oh,
other one is 60. Uh-huh.
but when you use three, for example, it evenly like divides them between 50%. Like
No. If you just see here, if I added in this case 3, it's not divided into 50%. It's
no.
just
I
give.
mean XXL column XXL and 3.
Yeah, okay. The XSL3. Okay. The XSL3 is just applying in this case when I haven't more than 1,400. Then it's here. And if you see here,
Oh
it
no,
would just give
no.
a base
Yeah.
25%.
Yes, I got it. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Ask more question is better, even if you put me a little bit nervous, but because sometimes I don't know, but this is how it is. We can clarify everything that you needed all together. More question here with this part?
Yeah,
I
Mario.
said it. Yeah.
Yes. Can we like insert into this div like nav bar, for example, or sidebar or paragraph, few paragraphs into this div?
Yes, absolutely. You can add whatever you want. There is no limitation in what you can add it. For example, if let's say like you want to add some paragraph, you can add it, and that will be absolutely fine. Yeah, to have any information that you will have it. Bootstrap is mostly just for create the skeleton of your website, but everything that you have seen it so far into the classes, everything that you can add in here, you can add your own class or anything. What is helpful, in my opinion, is like if I need some navbar, maybe I will go into the documentation and I will just look for a navbar, like this navbar here. And I will just say, look, there is one navbar that is already is already made it, and I will just take it, and I will say, okay, the existing navbar. I take this navbar, and let me just go here. I will add it. For example, I can add this div. Then in this div, I can just say, okay, call class, and I say call. And look, here is telling me all the different calls that I already used it and it's saving. And I will say the call is 12. And I can add my navbar, for example, that I like it, that I found it. And here you have your navbar installed. Over that navbar, I will start fixing it or changing it or doing whatever I needed. But there is no limitation about anything that you can add it into this kind of stuff. But what I find important is the grid model. The other one are just elements that you can continue overriding or not. It's up to you. For example, I will not go over what is, for example, if you use disable, you can go to this class and you just say a class and you say, okay, you in this case are disabled. It's not affecting it absolutely, but maybe we say like there are no colors. I think colors in Bootstrap that uh, we can just use it. For example, we can say, okay, what I can change here? I can change the text, and this text will be, let's say, it info, and then you are changing the colors that we have here. The colors are predefined in Bootstrap. All the colors that you have. We have primary, secondary, success, danger, warning, info, dark, and all those stuff that we have here. And the sizing, for example, I want to know the sizing that we have it. You know what? I want this one to be, I don't know, 3% or something in text. We have here the different text attributes, text left, text center, all of the things. It's like depending what you will be using. Like, for example, let's say it text uppercase, and it will be doing in this case exactly what you are telling it. It will just change it to uppercase. I don't need text info. I need, for example, text danger. Then it will just change you the color. But Bootstrap is nothing more than classes that you need to go figure it out what is the one that you needed, and you have it. I'm not sure if that solve the question about the text or
Yes,
everything,
it's
or
all
okay.
clear. Thank you.
Yeah, well, okay. Any other question that we have here? We will just go over some, but honestly, I don't even feel like we need some examples about Bootstrap. I would like you to go over itself and just look for something. They are just classes, put it next to one and next to another. I don't feel like there is a lot of science related with it. If you don't mind, we take 10 minutes break and we'll return. And we will return basically with the second part. Yes, no, Sultan?
No. I just want to say okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay, let's continue in this case with what we have it. Let's delete all of this information that I have. Absolutely unnecessary for what we are supposed to do. Let's delete everything. All the information that is here, I think is like a completely, oh, I have to, it's completely useless. Something interesting is that with Bootstrap, we can also create things that they have already some, let's call it dynamically part. Bootstrap, if we go, we can, let's say like in Bootstrap, we anything that you need, you can just here go and in the cell just say like one interesting thing, it will be like a one pop-up. Oh, I think they don't have it here. But let me model. Okay, how do I okay. Model Bootstrap 5? Can you say? I think this is, by the way, you will may find different option here. Oh, is using some JavaScript in this case. I will avoid it. And when we know some JavaScript, I will go over it. I have another, just not to get into some part that they are not that necessary. Okay. Okay. Let's install. I will install one specific version of Bootstrap. This one. It's a very specific version because I want to use some the slider that we have over there, and I will be using jQuery. We will not write anything in jQuery, okay? Don't worry. In that case, here we will write anything in jQuery. These the last lines that I sent it to you. Just install it in this here at the very end. And is missing something. Just to give you some reference, jQuery is the predecessor of React. I think jQuery was the most amazing thing that was written all the time. And this Popper is just a library that it has one slider included and will allow it to. And this Bootstrap is the Bootstrap that is included some JavaScript that allows to create some changes. For the specifically slider, and this is like a some slider that is completely just an standard. I will give it to you, and we will go page line by line just to see in it. Okay. Okay. Let me just give you the slider. Okay, it's saying that this should be is this code. I will give you part by part for you. Let me copy it in one code pen. There you go. I just want to go over it how this Bootstrap works. If you see in this page, it's just some HTML that we have. It's just saying like, okay, This is the slider that we are using it, so on, so on. And we have 1, 2, 3, and 3 images. There is nothing. And two, yep, two simple classes. One that say next and one that say previous. Nothing more here. We haven't done anything so far. What is happening is, for example, if we just install it, if I arrive and I install it Bootstrap to them, then Bootstrap is basically the one that is giving me the ability, or is creating, in this case, the page or the slider, being able to have it, put everything in order. I didn't do absolutely anything. If you see it here, I have the class carousel and the type slide. If I remove this class slide, this case, and we basically saving it, have it. And if I remove the carousel class, in this case, we don't have many changes. Okay, we go. There are just classes that I copy. I didn't do anything here. I didn't do absolutely anything. And Bootstrap is just wrapping with everything. And now, but right now I don't have any movement or anything so far. If we copy the last 3 lines that I give it to you, copy the last 3 lines here, that we have it, and we just add it to the code. We just add it to the code. We save it. Now something different will happen. Everything, in this case, is changing up. Okay, Mario doesn't have anything good for me. I mean, like, if you didn't do anything, 2 things are happening, and now we can have the difference between. These are the 3 elements that complete the website, and to make a website to be fully functional. The first part, if we don't have the stylings, if we don't have, in this case, the styling, then our website, in this case, it will just not have absolutely anything. The combination of the website will be the CSS, the HTML, and the JavaScript. The CSS is all the styling, and JavaScript is basically what is moving what we have it. I just remove it, and the dynamic part of my website is completed. What we will be start working or doing so far, or doing soon, is instead of be just adding, this is a very simple example. Instead of be adding classes, we will be adding or creating, because creating some slider like this is not that complicated. We are just using JavaScript. I just wanted to show you that in this case, why is the logical thing? The CSS is the starter, and the JavaScript in this case is giving the movement that we have inside. Nothing more. All of this, it was just code that basically I was just copying from another, from the Bootstrap example that we have over here. And I added something important is, Mario, why you are not adding those classes at the beginning? At the beginning of everything that you are having over here. Still working, but not moving by itself. The majority of time when we are working with, in this case with JavaScript, we will just have to add it at the end in order to all the HTML to be included into our page before going to work here. That is just a very basic example about Bootstrap that we have it. Then later, we can just extend this kind of stuff that is over here. This one will be absolutely working the same in our page. We have to Bootstrap, and Here we have our little slider completely working into the page. If we want to expand it or to add more information, you can just right here, your form. Another one that is important is, for example, to create a form that may, in this case, be useful. How we look for things into the Bootstrap, you enter into the Bootstrap and you say, okay, what I need? I need a form. So you go and look for the different elements that you have it. There is nothing in this case that I can, you have a form, you have a different classes that you are adding it, some buttons and classes, the type buttons. Let's see. We have a button. This is like a send information. If you want to start manipulating with Bootstrap, you say, okay, this button will have the type BTN. And it will just give you the style of Bootstrap and BTN dot primary. You have the primary, the secondary. Yeah. The links and code block. Yes, absolutely. I will do. The secondary. And we have it. The secondary color. And we can just even go and create a different, in this case, primary. And we can just cooperate. There are not nothing much that we can do. So we just have the information. The colors are the same. Info. Okay, it's info. What else could be useful in this case? Some input maybe. You have an input and everything goes just with the class. I need to know how to make an input. Okay, I go input file and we just go here. We don't even have much to add it to the input. Those, you can say, I don't even know what we can even add to an input. Which another element can be relevant for you? I don't know, like a headers. Headers. Yeah. You can just go and check this any snippet that you may need. For example, this is a completely checkout page, and the only thing that you basically do is just go see it. What do you like? No, maybe another stuff that can be useful is could be a table. Table. And there we have it. Yeah. Table. The element that you have in the table is like a table head. Head inside table row, some data, and table row, what else? And the other table row, table row. I think that is, I don't even know what we have it. Basically just the simple table that we have is element. The tables, they have different types, but here we have it. Table, primer, and it just basically repeating same. Table, primary, but there is not much. Secondary success and rows. Rows, what is it like here? Table row plus just added. Table secondary and so on. Which and yeah, I will just give you this one if you find it useful. But the important, I think like the only thing important that I am showing you today is install Bootstrap and that you can find any element that you needed here into the into in this case what you needed because everything else is just was that you know how to use flex, that you know in this case what is position, that you know what type of element that you wanted. Here you can just use the different element that you need. Put overs, like some information. You go, you click it, and here you have like the information. Basically look for it, you add it, you save it. Here maybe it will be needed some JavaScript in order to add it. Progress bars, everything that you may need for your website. I think that there is no more that I can share with you about this. It's just your imagination of what you need to go over. Okay. Do we have any question related with this or anything that is interesting for you for example?
Yeah, I have a
before
question.
moving? Yes.
Yeah, which version do we need to use, or which version do we need to avoid to use for Bootstrap?
The 4 down, don't try to not to install it because it's too old, but aside of that, it will not affect you. The only difference between one and another one is like the new version tends to have more features and the old version maybe will get deprecated or may, for example, this one it will be maybe if you use an old version, it can have some bugs, and it's better to use the new one. Just one thing, always go with the recommendation that you have in the documentation. That will be the best
Okay.
that I can tell you.
Okay, and you used then on that slide, sorry, carousel, you used jQuery, but I read the jQuery is obsolete, is not used in the new version. No?
Yeah, it's just because Bootstrap tend to use it in their own system and it's something that I know that is working wherever I put it, but we will not be learning jQuery. We will not. It was just an example, just to show you that the JavaScript is moving the in this case the Bootstrap. But no, jQuery is not something that we will be not using, not studying, and I doubt that you will use it at work. Just an example.
Okay, but yeah, but Bootstrap means it's not the pure CSS styles, right? It's a combination with a JavaScript to make it work.
Yes, because because Java is CSS doesn't have the ability to, well, you can add some animation or things like that, but it will never allow you to select the elements of your of your screen and give it some movement or apply, for example, what we are doing here. When I clicked, in this case is moving, right? In that click event, just I call it event, and that's what you cannot do it with CSS. Then you need some JavaScript, and even though some slider or things like that, the Bootstrap is using it, you need it to use some JavaScript.
Okay.
Bootstrap under the hood, just to go over here, let me just go, for example, this in component. And do you remember that I was showing you this model? No, this one is normal JavaScript, but this popper, I think, no, they are now is using normal JavaScript. But before Bootstrap was using under the hood, it was using in this case jQuery. Then we were writing jQuery in order to make Bootstrap to work. But I was seeing as I see it right now in the new documentation, we are just using normal JavaScript. But before it was jQuery. Now I can see that everything is just simple JavaScript. That's it.
Okay.
Anything else before like we close? Thanks to God, HTML and CSS for a good time. We will still write in CSS and HTML, but at least not like a main topic of the class. It's just I wanted to go over some maybe tools that it will be useful for you. Question? 1, 2, 3. Okay, fine. When we are having an interview, basically, that is the second part. The first part was talking about Bootstrap and something that you can do on your home. The second part, we need to wrap up HTML and CSS. In the part of skill that we have here, we will have this interview question. Yes, here. And believe me or not, HTML and CSS, we have different kind of inconvenient or different kind of question that you will face in today and till you get a job. But before that, before entering into this one, I just wanted to ask you in general, and whoever wants can answer. When we are, for example, when I write here, let's say google.com, what happened what happened here? What are the steps that happen for when I wrote it .com till I have some information here in my screen? Someone would like to tell me, Mario, I think that this is everything that is happening, and just tell me the process that you know so far, then I will give you how in my mental model is working this.
But it's really complicating, like networking.
Yeah. No. In your own words, and I don't even will go and have 2 hours talk about it, but the general thing, what do you think is happening
Like
over
there
there?
is, I only remember that the google.com is a domain at like IP address, like with a readable format.
It's an IP address with
You
a
go to the
readable.
local router, and the local router redirects you to the next your provider, and the provider has another IP. I don't really remember that.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you really remember. Okay, just let me take some notes about it. You said it's a right to the router. Router send
Your
me
mobile, no, home Wi-Fi router.
home Wi-Fi send you to the
And there is a like ports, yes, of the like servers where the information comes and information receives.
Yes, There are ports. Okay, that is the beginning. Okay, my Wi-Fi, I write it, I write google.com, and the router of my house send me to somewhere, in this case, in the internet, and that place on the internet is google.com, right? Okay, that makes sense. Someone else wants to add something extra? Aha, Isada, I
So
think like
think
you want
it's
to tell
sent,
me.
like by request.
You send a request, right? You send a
Send the
request.
request. Yes.
Okay, you send a request to the browser to get something, right? To get something. Okay, yeah, there we have it. The Wi-Fi, through the Wi-Fi, I send a request, and we are combining, right? The Wi-Fi, the router that I have in my house. When I route it, I send a request. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, like using the IP address, which is unique for each computer. And I think the request will be sent to using the DNS.
Okay, the domain name server. Okay, cool. What else? What else do we have? Okay, we send it. Right now, we are just sending. I just want to make that everybody we are okay. I wrote it. The Wi-Fi of my house sent it a request. That request went to the DNS, and we can even just see here the DNS. We can just go to here that we have it, right? This is like the web browser send a request to here, and the DNS redirect me to one place. What is that place where they redirect me?
To the server, according to the picture.
Yes, thank you. Yes, to the server according to the picture. Yeah, to the byte server, send it to the server. Okay, and what happened after that? Okay, I went in. If right now I am in the server. I think Kai wanted to tell me something extra over there. I saw that he opened his microphone.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that it sent. Yeah, sorry about the server. Nothing
Oh,
more.
okay. Oh, okay. They send it to the server. Okay, now we are in the server. Now what happened later after that?
I think we retrieve some information we requested, and it goes back to the browser and it renders.
Okay, and return to the browser, browsers and renders. Okay. Okay. Here we are something here. Something here is missing and something here. Okay, browser and renders. Okay. And renders. Okay. All right. Okay. What else? It doesn't have to be a perfect definition, but we have it. I just want, because right now we will start working with JavaScript, and with the time we will be using with servers, and we will call on information. But I just want to have this general idea of what is happening over the internet when you are sending all the information.
Yeah,
Whether-
information will be saved in the packages, different package. Oh, yeah. So you divide it into
Yes.
smaller packages and send it through the different available. So as lines, I don't know, network.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna have a checks. So yeah, every package will be having a kind of a, how to say, it's kind of checks. So yeah, to make sure that we receive the right number of packages to render the information on the browser.
Yeah, this is coming in the headers, right? In the headers of the response. And if I'm not mistaken, they are 512 kilobytes that they are arriving back. Aha, there was someone else who was, I think it was Norberto or Nur Sultan who wanted to say something.
There was something about TCPI, but I don't really remember.
TC, okay, TCP. Okay, yes, in this case,
And some
what,
protocols,
yeah, we have
how
in
you
this
like
case one.
receive data and send data, and HTTPS, that security thing.
Okay, alright. Okay. Okay, and we
So,
received, yes?
yeah, I just reminded. So what Nursultan said, that so information is going to be encrypted and decrypted here during the sending and receiving it's a part of the process.
Yeah.
Yes. And the computers stay connected. So the computer like establish the connection.
Yeah, the computer established the connection and everything, right? Okay, cool. And we returned and renders. I think here we need some part that we have here. Someone else? Oh, but sure, something that you want to share that we are missing over here. Design. Sarina, Shida, something else that you hear, something that you feel like is not correct or we are missing or we can add. Okay, then this is our definition. Remember there, when we are talking about definition, it's about our mental models. Those mental models depend, I think one of the biggest, I'm not saying mistake, but the biggest flaws that we may have at some time is to think like a data exists just one concept related while what everything works. Why is that? It's because as a front-end developer, I will see it in one way. As a back-end developer, I will see it in another way. As a DevOps, I will see it in another way. As a user, I will see it in another way. So let's just create like a definition. When we are sending an HTTP request, the request passes through the network. The network, in this case, ping a server using TCP, and this TCP is different because this is like when we are transferring data from our, for example, your local computer to the, in this case, to the server, mostly when you are just uploading data. We can continue this. Then the domain name server, in this case, like we just have this number, right? Like a one IP, and the domain name servers allow us to go and get that information. The server, what is missing here is like sometimes the things can go wrong, and sometimes you will not find the information that you needed. Then you may have different responses. Well, let's say like in this case, you go to a server. For example, I have this information and I write something like this. Something like this that doesn't exist in this case, then I will get under another response. And that response can be negative, can be positive. Or in this case, it's called fulfilled or rejected. Okay, fulfilled means I am getting the information, then all the packages, as Kai told me, all the packages will return, and everything is going through the network to all the cables that we have it under the ocean and all the things. They are returning these small packages that are returned at the very end. They transform into one big package or all the information. I don't remember. I am not sure if you remember something that the download image that there it was before, in this case, one thing that it was saying download, because all these little packages were downloaded. We don't see that part into our browser, because basically now everything is so fast that you feel like it's immediately. But before, when you were downloading the image was downloaded like little by little. And those were the small packages. And sometimes you have like a one image that it was corrupted. Or when I was young and I was using something like a Napster, the son was trying to download, and at the very end, after 2 days of waiting, something corrupted went down. That it was an inconvenience. And everything arriving here. And when we download this small package, the website, in this case, start running. All those packages get into our computer, and three things happen. The HTML, the CSS, and the JavaScript, in this case, get downloaded. Okay. Someone knows how these three guys are rendered. Which one is rendered at first? Which was rendered at second? Which one are rendered at third? The
I think first should be HTML.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is the first.
Yeah, it's gonna create DOM, right? Document Object Model.
Yeah.
And then
Then,
CSS and then JavaScript.
well, that is like the normal way that we are just doing it. Okay. My question is, you know, when everything is downloaded, because the page first arrive the HTML, right? In the HTML, in this case, let's just see like one page. I think I have to have here some page, right? We have to here some page. And we have this information, right? What do you think this page is reading? Do you think all the page is reading from beginning till the end? Or maybe start reading here, and stop in these places?
I think it's just uploading the source files before and then everything.
No, because first enter the index, then the index, when it's entered, enter the CSS, and when the CSS enter, it get blocked here. That is why if you have so big CSS here, your page may be quite slow. That is why sometimes we divide our CSS pages in different small pages, and we have like the basic CSS and like the specialized CSS divided. And the specialized CSS divided, maybe we add it on the bottom in order to not to block. When we are in this case, I think that you were, I think it was Alzada that told me that the page render. Well, when the page render, in that moment of rendering, the CSS block everything in your computer. Why? Because the CSS has to download completely into your computer, into your browser. Then it continues going down. That is why to have so big CSS file, you usually write here on the header, small CSS, and the heavy CSS, you tend to put it on the bottom where you don't care, right? Like, and you see, I'm not sure if you have seen some pages that you see like they open fast, but not all the styles are applied at the beginning, and the styles are loading later. It's because CSS, in this case, is render blocking. That is called CSS is render blocking that we have it, okay? By default, CSS is a render blocking resource. When the CSS is loading, everything in your browser gets blocked. Why? Because this CSS needs to, in this case, be
Applied.
loaded.
Oh. Oh.
I'm sorry?
So you like goes to the link, and after that it applies the whole CSS inside and then goes like forward.
Is
Yes. And then I'll go forward with the printing all the
Yeah.
first load everything here and then start loading this one. these divs and everything. It's not that the HTML get loaded completely. The page, this page get loaded and start reading from top to bottom. And when I write here, everything get blocked. Everything get blocked till all the CSS get loaded into your browser. When all the CSS is loaded into your browser, they will continue here. There are ways that we can avoid that. Yes, but it's not what we are talking right now. Yes, Kai?
So yeah, is it? Yeah, do we need to then divide CSS into different files? For example, for mobile, for iPad versions, into different CSS files?
Not necessary. What we have it, let me just open you any page and just for you to see it. Let me. I think I will just open this one. Okay. Okay. What is it? Open reading mode. Spec. Open. Okay. Is view page code. Okay. Here we have it. If we see, we will have here some CSS, but very likely on the bottom, we also will have some CSS. Here we don't have anything extra. Let me see. Let me see. Okay. Okay. This is I'm sure that they have some garbage here. Just a
What they
friend.
mean by garbage?
It's a friend. No. The thing is like for example, it's very normal that we have a preprocessors like here.
Like the basically link preprocessor, yes, it's like inserts in the file all the CSS, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And
And
the
let
script
me.
tag also do it like that. Am I right? Or
I'm sorry, would you mind to repeat? Look, here, I just wanted to show you. Look, this is the line 4,000 something, and they added some here CSS. The animations they are adding at the end because they tend to be heavy, and in order to not to block all the page like with animation or things like that, what you do is you remove it from your CSS and you just paste it at the very end of your page. Everything that is heavy, you just try to divide, and that is happening when the page it grows too much. Then you are thinking, okay, it's better not to have it. Look, here are over. No, but this one is basically on the top that we have. You were saying me
Okay,
something, Kai?
just to put in the end of the file,
If it's
right?
not,
Okay.
yeah, if
If it's heavy.
this is heavier,
And so
you
yeah,
just
what about what about bootstraps? Are they also blockers
yes,
for
they
rendering?
are. Yes, they are.
Okay,
But
any other libraries, frameworks we are using, we need to be careful then, or how can we use them?
But you just have to know what is the most important, what is indispensable. Like you cannot, this page will not work without it. You put it in the header, everything else go down at the end of the page. If you say like this one is a must for my page, it goes on top. If not, you put it down and you try to forget it, like overwriting on
Okay.
everything that you have over there.
Okay.
Mhm.
so the script
And-
tag also doing like the link tag. They are both like the same
They are both
functionalities.
rendered, but they have a little bit different reason why. First, they are blocking. Yes, absolutely. But there is another reason. The other reason is, and we will see it, that JavaScript, you manipulate the elements inside the DOM. And if they are not in the button, the DOM is not created, then you cannot manipulate anything. That is the logic why you put the JavaScript on
Oh,
there.
I got it. Okay.
Yeah, that is why it was important for me to understand how if this is rendered. Now we know the reason. We put the CSS on the top that we needed because we need the colors to be applied. Then because you have the HTML is created. Now you can apply the CSS that you already have. But what we will be studying later is JavaScript. And why do we add JavaScript at the end? Because the page is written from top to bottom. Then if I want to manipulate this one, if I want to do something with JavaScript with this one, it has to exist first. Then that is why we connected in this case on bottom. And that is the structure that we have. The request you send it, all the files arrive it, the files start reading from top to bottom, HTML and CSS, they are render, in this case, render blocking. That means like your page is stopping. It's stopping loading all the information. We add the CSS that there are the styles on the top. The important that we have it, and in order to not to block something, we usually add here at the bottom some is animation or things like that that we need. JavaScript will majority of time, I don't want to say the word all the time, but the majority of time will be on the button for the reason that you need to have access to the DOM first. And that is why we have it. And those are like the reason why we have that information. And this is like the network that is happening. Well, that is not science. Yes, Nursultan?
Does it what about media queries? It like renders the page how can I say that relative to the screen size, or and that doesn't apply the all that CSS with the other size, or like
I understand your question. You are telling me all the CSS get applied right away and
yeah,
it is read.
all of them, or just one, like relative to the screen.
In this case, your browser is selecting which CSS needs to be applied depending on the site that is in this moment. But
But
that is
then-
not
But it loads all of it, right?
all is loaded in your browser. You have it over there. I mean, like, it's over there. Just your browser select what do we have it. I mean, you can go, let's say, to this one, and if sorry, when you open it, everything, and in this case, and you expect that all the CSS is completely in this case added. You have all the classes are here, but maybe in this case you will have like a media query. Here you have the different media queries that are over there.
I think just some of them are redundant because of the screen size. You can maybe
Exactly.
you can remove them, or maybe you cannot. It like saves your time when you're loading the page.
Exactly. And this is one of the inconvenience that you are using Bootstrap. When you are using Bootstrap, you pull everything into your website. And if your website is very little, you have a big tank over there without, yeah. Yeah, I said it.
Yes, Mario, you said that when we have like a really heavy website, they divided the CSS, they split the CSS through all the HTML. So are we using internal CSS to do so?
Well, no, this one was more like a general when you have different, in this case, CSS, but it's not specifically for what we have been working so far. You don't see it. And when we start working with React will take care of all of those things. That is so cool. We don't have to take care about the division our CSS. The division our CSS is mostly when you are writing yourself the CSS. Like if, for example, you have 3,000 lines of CSS, you now it's not important because the internet is very fast, but like sometimes you say you want to make your website faster, you can say, okay, this is the minimum that I need to display my website, and the specialized CSS, you put it in another file outside. But what you are saying, like if I understand you properly, you are saying, okay, Mario, I add here, for example, the style, let's say it here. I add here some style here, and then my CSS, I added on the bottom, right? It could be one solution if I am, but what I will do is create one file, one CSS file with the basics CSS, like and here I will have like a, for example, basic, and here will be say advanced.css. And this advanced CSS, I will just add it to the bottom, like some CSS that is not that important for me. There is not a silver bullet for this kind of things. Like it will depend on your case. It will depend on your website is heavy or not, or if it's important or not. It's all completely up to you.
Yeah, that
Uh,
makes sense. Thank you.
Mhm.
Yes, Mario, you mentioned about preprocessor CSS, right? How it's
Yeah.
gonna help you using that preprocessors like SAS?
Basically, you write less CSS, and as I am writing less CSS, another thing is like they try to be more optimized, and you can group, for example, I feel like if you want it, I can ask someone, for example, SAS, within, I think, SAS. What would allow you is to start using this one like a composite, like you have a section class, and you are not redundant doing everything like a class over class over class. And aside of that, it will allow you to create some funny part like I think call it mixins or something like that. I am not expert in this area, but the processor, what is basically doing it is you will write less CSS, and there are some funny things that you can do it over there. Instead of creating this one like a section, class one, class button, then you combine it. You say section, because section apply this. If in the section you have a class one, apply this, and if there is a button, apply just this part. It allows you to write less CSS code.
Okay, but for this kind of structure, looks like we can use it in CSS right now in VS Code, but
This
it is
one.
visible. Yeah, yeah. When you write that, it is visible in the live preview, but not. So
Yeah,
it is visible on live server, but not the preview.
yeah, because you need
It's
something that
work sometimes
compile.
it's working, sometimes not. Yeah.
And because in this case, you will have to configure your project to be like a
Oh, okay.
work. Yeah, that's the thing that you will need some bundler, because SAS is not something that I will tell you like this. React, Angular, SAS, or all of those things that you see it over there, your browser doesn't understand it. Okay, understand zero. But what we do it is like we parsing that information in something that we can use it. Sometimes we will use something like a Babel or Webpack, that they are like, or roll up or things like that. They are tools that take our code and change it into something that the browser can understand. For example, nowadays we have TypeScript. TypeScript is something that our browser doesn't understand at all. I mean, at the very end, everything has to be converted into simple CSS, JavaScript, and HTML. That is the only three things that the browser understands. Everything else, we just transform it into something that the browser can understand. That may be the case why it's not showing you for you.
What about
Yes.
the JavaScript? Because it's like interpreted
Yeah.
by the what?
Those three understand. CSS,
Oh,
HTML, and JavaScript.
JavaScript.
These three
Oh.
you understand it.
No, I mean, when you have a C++ code, you just compile it, or the Python, it like runs at the same time, but the JavaScript, where does it goes? Like, goes the page itself, like it in
The browser.
go put it in a browser, like a binary file, or I don't know, like.
You are that is a very good question. I will just tell you that it's like this. JavaScript is a hybrid between compilation and interpretation, and it's called just-in-time compilation. That is why JavaScript is very fast. It's using the two things because we have runtime, we have everything that you can see. Just the thing is like for example, C++ and the other one, they compile it and give you
And then
that
you have
executive.
to, yeah,
Yeah.
run it.
JavaScript do it just when it's needed. Like it create everything, and when it's needed, take the binaries to use it. And this is a big conversation that we can
What?
use it. But here it is.
Okay.
This is what we are using. It's a dynamically runtime compilation that we have it. It's compiled. Yes, JavaScript is compiled. The majority say is interpreted. Is half interpreted, half compiled. Then like something that we can argue. It's just in time compilation.
But
That is
who processes it? The browser
your browser.
processes it?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Because who processes it is Node itself. Because inside the browser you have, for example, every browser has one engine, right? Have engine, for example, and we can just go here and just say browser engines, and we have here. We have
Engine.
every
Yeah.
browser, yeah. We have everything in. We have Blink, WebKit, Trident, and Gecko. I mean, in this case, I think it's different here. I think this is quite. And then this engine is the one that is processing your code, basically. Mhm.
Okay. But
Well,
where does it stores these things, like the parts of the code?
well, I think like you have 64 megabytes of memory into your browser that part is just compiling and doing it, everything. And aside of
Oh,
that, when you go here, here to your browser, you will have like a memory, you will have your application, you have local storage, session storage, and all of
okay.
those things. And this is almost a operating system that you have in your browser. I mean, like I think like you even see these computers that are like a where like Chromebooks. They are basically just a browser over there installed and running everything.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, guys, please 10 minutes. The one who wants to have 10 minutes, who wants to talk a little bit, we can talk just like talk nonsense, like just opening talk right now. Yeah, who wants to take 10-minute break, please feel free.
Okay.
I need to open my microphone before going over that. I'm sorry, I will ask again. I will just repeat a little bit. We were just talking about how the internet works and what happened when we open a website. That's it, no more. It's like a very common question that you will have in an interview. I will think like you open, you write some information, you send it to the server will give you some information, you render in your page, the rendering is CSS from top to bottom, and all the information is rendered, right? Maybe the last part when we start talking about JIT, like about compilation and all of those things, is a little bit further. It's just I go over the, sometimes I get excited in between the conversation. But in general, it's just three things. What happened when the information is arriving? Why we may divide the CSS because the CSS block your page. That means like needs to get into the website. Like you have to get all the CSS in order to make it work. Okay. I will just randomly say it. Elsada, what we had been talking the last time make sense for you or not much? Sorry for asking you direct.
It's okay, it's okay. Yeah, it makes sense. I'm sorry. I was a little busy, so I'm listening rather than answering.
Okay,
Yes, it
okay,
makes
okay,
sense.
no, okay, just like that. I just want to go over it. Sarina, to that?
Yes, it makes sense, but it's a
Oh,
little bit difficult.
yes.
That's why.
Okay, good. But please, I just keep it simple. When you write something here, for example, SciTech, you send a request, like you ask the host, where the host is just another computer where all these files are saved, and you ask, give me this file. They send you the file, they download into your computer, and your computer gets some copy. Basically, your computer gets something like okay, like this, right? Some all the information that it would be your CSS and something. And your browser starts showing, okay, this is a div, this is something, and put it in your screen. That's it. There is no more than that. Sometimes just too much blah blah from my side, but it's just that part, okay? And that we have it here. Now, let's just close CSS and HTML with me, and I will just ask you some small questions, nothing extra, just to go over here. Then I will be just asking, for example, Shanat, what is in this case doc type? Or what is a semantic in HTML? I think this one would be a better question. What is semantics in HTML? Okay, I open it. Wait. Sarina, why do we have semantic in HTML? Or what do you remember about semantics?
Semantics gives us, for example, we can clarify what kind of information there are in this text, and also it helps for the reader. Is it correct?
It is.
Yeah, for people who can see to to help understand what they are, what kind of information are there. For
Exactly.
example, when
Mhm.
we type article, tag
Mhm.
article, it means that person can understand that there are some information related to article and so on.
Exactly. In this case, it is like, for example, we can call everything house, right? But we have buildings, skyscraper, and
Yeah.
we have a museum and everything. We are just giving it a proper name in order to communicate our ideas better. And the other ones also understand us better. Yeah, that is absolutely right.
Yes, and
Good.
for the structure also.
For the structure and for other developers understand like
Yeah.
okay, they did it in this way. Yes, it is in this case is semantic is used in this case strong or something else. Okay, thank you so much, Sarina. Rustam, I'm not sure if you are able to talk, but do you know what are like the self-closing tags? Because I see that you are on the phone, maybe you are. Okay. Nur Sultan, would you mind to explain me the three main ways that we can apply CSS styles?
3 main ways?
Yes.
I didn't get the question.
We have CSS, right?
Yeah.
And the CSS, we can apply it, for example, in different ways. I can apply it, for example, outside of
Oh,
my
you
page.
can apply it with a ID or the class or just a part like with a tag itself. Is that what
That
you?
is not this time
No,
exactly.
no, okay.
No, not exact. For example, that is how I select or how to
Yeah,
apply
so
CSS. But how we add in this case, we have this one. We have
oh
uh-huh.
yeah,
We have inline, right? We can
yeah.
just write that inline. We can have in this case the styles and put it in the header or any place and write our CSS. Or we can have a link. Those are like the difference between one and another one that we have. Just like the different way that we can just select the CSS and not to have that many inconvenience. Okay, thank you so much. I will ask you another one a little bit
Okay.
later. Okay, and Kyle, would you mind to tell me what are the different type of selector that we have? We go.
So yeah, different types of CSS selectors are classes, ID, so tags, HTML tags, and pseudo elements, pseudo classes, and what else? Yeah, these are main.
Yeah, absolutely. You even gave me
So
more,
yeah,
but what else?
there are more. XPath and something else, but they are more.
I don't
That's
know.
not our development.
You are already even knowing more than what I know about those stuff. I think Elsada is busy, then I will just move it for her.
I'm okay. I can answer.
Okay. Would you mind, Elsada, just tell me, do you know what is in this case the word? What will it refers when we are talking about specificity in CSS?
Okay. When we specify the element, isn't it the thing? Or it
And
there's some
Actually, it's that when we specify the element in this case, right? Specify means decide what CSS property we will apply. The
Yeah.
specificity is like as more specified you can go, as better. And can I just a following question? We have this what Kai told me about classes, IDs, let's say class, ID, or the tag. What is in this case the priority in specificity? Which one is like a more powerful than the other one? Which one is more specific?
I feel like ID is more specific because you have exactly what you are talking about, like a serial number type of thing. And then
Absolutely.
that's what I do.
Yeah, and then go, which is the second one?
I'm not sure about the second one. I don't think that I have a relevant answer for that.
And then the second one is the class, and the third one in this case will be just the element or the tag itself that we are taking there. Those are like the three more important. Exists one that is like when we use the important, right? That is like a blow up, that is like a atomic bomb, and like this important. If you use the word important, that will just go over everything. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. That makes sense.
Mhm. And okay. Okay. Doctor, would you mind to help me with something between, do you know the difference between visibility hidden and displayed, in this case, none?
Sorry, Mario, I didn't understand. Can you please tell me the number of the question? I will just
Ah,
translate.
yeah, absolutely. The number 14?
Okay, let me just.
Yeah.
The first thing is ever between the visibility hidden and display none. Oh, it's interesting. I never think about it. Visibility, just visibility hidden and display none. Is it like elements? Yeah. Okay. What the difference between the hidden and display? I can just say about the display none when we use the display none for a few properties, like when we don't wanna something to be visible, we use none. I'm not sure, I just say what I'm talking. Like when we use like text decoration none or like this, we just result from our page, and visibility hidden. I don't know what is it. I never
Ah,
hear these two words when they comes together.
okay. It looks almost the same, honestly, but one is like a display nums remove the element. I mean, the element doesn't exist in your page,
Yeah.
but visibility just doesn't show it. Like the Harry Potter, he's there, but you cannot see it. Then the space is used in this case between one and another. Visibility not is like I am like hiding, but I am there.
Can you
And
give
this
one example, please? Like what? Where we can see?
we can use it, for example, if we, let's say you have something that is showing and not showing, right now I am showing and then not.
Mm,
For ex
like in the, I forgot, you already showed this in the Bootstrap. That carousel, we have 3 images, but we can see 2 more. Yeah, it's hidden, right? Okay.
is hidden, is in this case, right? Just remember, display like a okay, display is like a I don't
No.
exist. I took it and it's not here anymore. It's not in our place. And visibility is there, just is hidden, right? And the space is like a and the space is over there. Think about this one. I am not sure if it has happened to you. Let's say you have a big wall
Mhm.
of glass, and you are like this. You don't see the glass, but you can hit it because
I can.
exists there. Yeah, that is in this case visibility and in this case hidden. I mean, I don't see it, but it's there. And display none is like I remove the wall and the wall doesn't exist, and I can just go through it. It's like
Yeah,
those
thank
two
you for
things.
thank you for his yeah, I got it. It's clear. Thanks.
Okay, cool. Okay. Then I saw that. Would you mind to help me with what is the difference between inline and block and inline block, if you don't mind?
So inline elements, it just displaying inline. It doesn't start like from the new line. And the block element, it displays as a block and occupy the whole width. And inline block, I think we can set the properties like height and width.
Exactly, that is exactly perfect in this case. That is the difference, right? In line, the elements just go with the flow, one after another one. The block, that means like every element create a new line. And inline block are similar to inline, they go with the flow, but you can get a height and width. That was absolutely correct in this uh, case. That was perfect. Okay, Argun, Argun. What is I get? I always when I read it, Argun. I yes, it's Argun, right? Sorry, sometimes I have a problem with that. Tell me. I'm not sure if you are here. Okay, Aisa, would you mind in this case if I ask you something? It would be just something similar to this that we are having here. Okay, not a problem. Well, these are like the basic HTML question that we may have for an interview, or those are like the topics that we usually have into the classes what we have been studying. We will just go over some like this one. We already talk about what are selectors. Pseudo elements, I think it's not something that we see it. Pseudo classes is not something that we are just having it in this moment. But let me just go again. Karina, would you mind to help me? What is the C index?
Z index,
you have-
maybe. Z index.
Yeah, this one.
Okay. So that Z index help us. For example, we have several divs, and to make the main one forward, we use Z index to make it first, and then another ones behind the first one.
Exactly. Auto. Just to see, right? You know, when we have it, we usually have a height and width, right?
Yeah.
Height and width. But we also have like the other one that is the C. Like who is over the other one? Is over you. In this case, the C index. You can go like you can go up, you can go right or left, but you can also go into the C index or into the third dimension, and you are going over there, just placing the element. You started from, you can use even minus or plus, and it depends who has the bigger number go first and who goes the other one go next, right?
Mhm.
We can just see them like a stack, right? You have here 3 books. Which one do you want to be first? I want this one to be first. These are the 3 divs, right? One after another one. Which one to go in the second position, in the third position, and over. Sometimes it's useful, mostly if you are drawing some stuff. Yeah, but you are absolutely right. Okay, let me go. Nur Sultan, would you mind to help me explaining the box model? I think that is important. Which are the
Box
elements of
model?
the box? Yeah.
It's padding margin and third one. Uh, padding margin and I forgot third one.
Okay.
Uh,
No problem.
is the box itself? No.
If the box is there, right? Right? Like we let's say like we have here the box itself, right? And every element have those elements, and even here is giving you the model, right? The padding, the border, and the margin. And
Yeah.
all of them give us, in this case, the full size of our element. So one element is, let's say, 100 pixels with plus 10 pixel padding. It will be already 120. Why? Because 10 and 10, right? They are from side to side. Then we have the border. The border may have like a 2 or 3 pixels. And then we have the margin. The margin is between the other elements. This is exactly like a box, like what you have inside,
It's like onion, but I think.
and the space between the onion, right? Like the
Yeah.
onion, it will be the border, like at the last layer, the border. Inside you have all the paddings, and outside is like at the space that you have between 2 onions. It will be, in this case, the margin. And all of them, why they are important? For one reason. Because imagine that you have a house, and in that house you have to put 3 tables, and the house is 2 meters, and the tables are 10 meters, then they will not fit. It's just how we divide our space in our screen. It's good to know the box model. I never remember them. That is why I always go here and okay, and I remember. You will always have it in your inspectors. You take an element, any element, you go to the bottom, and there you will have all the information. These are tools, use it. Okay? Don't feel ashamed to use tools. Some people think like using tools is bad, but they are fun. Okay, then Kai, would you mind to tell me in this case share with me the positions into CSS. When we're talking about the position, do you have an idea about it, or do you want some hint over there?
So excuse me, what did you
Yeah,
ask? Positions?
position
Is
here
that
we have.
okay? State use. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, we have that position. Yeah, different. So position property with different values, like position absolute, position relative, I think fixed, and static.
Oh man, this exactly static. And just to
Okay.
go over a little bit more, what is the difference between relative and absolute?
Yeah, relative when absolute. How to explain? Okay, when position absolute means so yeah, when position relative means it's based on that the parent element which has a position absolute. It means when we set up the position relative, it's going to be aligned based on the position of the parent element, and it will not go outside of that parent element. And yeah.
Mhm. Well, someone else wants to add something over there? Okay, the first thing is the first thing that I asked you, that is correct. That is more than correct. A static, relative, fixed, and absolute. First thing is this is quite complicated to really remember it. I don't remember it in this case. So static is default. That means when the element has to appear, it has to appear. The position relative means you can move that element, but where it exists. Let's say this element, this is the element, I can move it 5 pixels to the left and to the top, but the reference point is where it was. What is supposed to be, that is the reference point. That it will be relative to itself. What is an absolute? That is quite tricky because absolute depending on the parent, right? If the parent start here, then you will start from that place for the next relative that you have. It is just a little bit tricky. Yeah, that part is the absolute is the position based on the parent, right? On the parent that is absolutely relative to someone else.
Is this
Relative
yeah, sorry. Is this absolute and and relative? They used to be in combination, right? Because they have to be used in combination, not in a so we can't use separately just absolute, right?
yes, yes.
Oh, okay, okay.
Oh, okay.
For example, when excuse me, when we don't have a parent, I mean with position relative, it means it goes on top, and it doesn't. It will work without position relative. Is it correct? I mean,
It's
all the
absolutely because no, that is absolutely correct because you don't have anything. Then the parent is the body. Then
Okay.
the parent, and by default, it is supposed to be like a relative stuff.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, good. Thank you. That means we can use it with the majority of time, as I say, we will have it inside a parent that has relative. But exists the case, like as Arina said, that if that doesn't exist parent, somewhere that element has to be connected, right? And that is the body. And in this case, we have it, and that is a very interesting question that I would like to go over here. And we go to the body in this case, and I will ask, is the body position relative? Okay, by default, the position of the body is relative. That is why it works, Sarine. Look, there is no parent, then the parent is the body, and the body is relative. Then it will go over the body. That is why, in this case, we can use absolute, even though there is not another this, it's not inside an image. It was very interesting question.
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, now, okay. Uh, okay. Sarah, would you mind to explain a little bit what is media property uh, and why do we use it? I will go. Vector, would you mind to help me with the question 11? But not specifically to give me an example. It's
Sorry,
mostly
Mario. Yeah, I'm
yes.
sorry. I can hear right now. Did you ask
Okay.
the 11th question?
Yes, the 11, but don't give me an example. Just tell me what you know about media queries. Why do we use it? When do we use it?
Yeah, okay, we make like some project for users, and the users use not only computer, they use different device like phone, tablet, like different. So we have to try to make our project what will be который будет подходить for any device. So
Exactly.
yeah, I know how to do it. So we know. We give like the
Yeah.
max width or minimum width, and we can just yeah, do it with this. Okay.
Exactly. In this case, it's just to see like, you have a big screen, then I will show you like this. You have a little screen, then I will show you like this. Because, for example, if I have in my screen, and my screen is 30 inches or 50, then I need a bigger like typography, right? Like a bigger letter. But if I have a telephone, maybe I need a smaller one. It's just to help other ones that we have it. And the last one, I will go and I know we have I saw that. What is Flexbox? And can you tell me a little bit about it? Whatever you want over there. Just what is Flexbox for you? What do you understand about Flexbox? And when do we use
Flexbox. Oh, it's kind of hard to
it? Yes, a little.
describe. It it allows us to apply it to have like more flexible layout. And like we can use rows and columns.
Yeah, yeah. And okay, look, actually, let's go here. Okay, as you say it, look, it allows you to flexible and responsive layout. That's it. It's allowed you to, when you say like, okay, you have two elements, the flex parent, right? Like the parent, the container, and the flex elements, the flex container and the flex element. What is doing it is all the elements that are inside the flex parent get in line and try to go like in a very big, in this case, line. It's just, we just need a flex container that is just, but flex is just in line, right? Everything is in line, the idea. That one element will go after another one. I will suggest you go over these questions when you have some time. Read it, check it. It's better now that we have some, that you have some time. Relax it. This was the last class with me related um, with HTML and CSS. I feel like you are also tired as me related with HTML. If needed, just a lot of information. For the next class with me, we will be talking about functions in JavaScript. You will have an introduction to programming, and then you will go with me with functions. At least something interesting we will be doing. It will be to go over. For today, is everything. If we don't have questions or anything that you want to share with me, you can go and have a tea.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
No questions.
Yes, thank you, Maria.
Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much. No questions.
Okay, good. You're welcome. Victor, tell me, I will stop recording.
I have a question.